welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into Serie A, taking a closer look at that, well, pretty eye-catching 4-0 win for Milan over Udinese.
Yeah, big result. 4-0 away from home.
Yeah.
You don't see that every day.
Definitely not. Especially, on Udinese's home ground. It's a scoreline that really makes you ask questions.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for, right? To dig a bit deeper than just the score. What were the key moments, the tactics, the individual performances that swung it so decisively?
We want to get a clearer picture of why Milan looks so good and, well, where it all went wrong for Udinese.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's kick things off with Udinese. They lined up in what looked like a 3-4-3 formation. What did you make of that initially?
Well, on paper, 3-4-3 can work. Solid back three, wing backs for width.
Sure.
But in reality, it seemed fragile almost immediately. I mean, think about that very first minute.
Yeah, the collision.
Exactly. Christensen bumps into Bijol, and suddenly Reijnders has this massive chance. It kind of set the tone, didn't it, for their whole defensive unit?
It really did. And poor Christensen, that moment seemed to just follow him around. He had a really tough time dealing with Leo down that side.
You could see it on that first goal.
Yeah.
Leo had like acres of space to cut inside. It was almost an invitation.
And well, he ended up being subbed off, which tells you pretty much everything you need to know about his afternoon.
Yeah. And it wasn't just him, was it? Bijol, who's normally quite steady back there.
Usually reliable, yeah.
He seemed pulled around a bit by Jovic's movement early on. Made one decent block, I think, but wasn't really commanding.
And then the second goal.
Right. The corner, Pavlovic just climbs higher. You simply have to win those headers in your own 6-yard box. It's fundamental.
Yeah, those are the moments that kill you. And then further forward, Lorenzo Luca. Oh, dear.
Night to forget. Seems about right. That giveaway for Leao's opener,
Yeah.
that's just a dagger blow, isn't it? Especially early on.
Totally deflating. And it just put Milan straight onto the front foot.
And it doesn't help that he's in a bit of a goal drought now. What is that, 6 games?
6 games, yeah. That's tough for your main striker when the team's looking for goals.
Definitely. You need that focal point, someone to hold it up, someone to finish.
Now, Florian Thauvin was missing for them, a big absence. Reijnders tried playing Arthur Adda further forward, sort of supporting Luca. How did that experiment look?
Not great, honestly. Felt a bit forced. Adda was pretty quiet for most of the first half, kind of drifting.
Didn't really get involved much.
He tried a bit more after the break, showed some willingness. But look, he's not Thauvin. He doesn't have that same creative spark or, that goal threat.
You could really feel Thauvin's absence in that final third, couldn't you?
Hugely. And look at their record. Without him, this was the 4th loss in a row when he hasn't played.
Wow. That really underlines his importance, doesn't it? Reijnders is obviously searching for answers there, but nothing's quite working.
Clearly not. We should probably mention the keeper, Okoye, 4 goals conceded. Never looks good.
Yeah, but was it really his fault? I thought he made a couple of decent stops early on, actually. Denied Reijnders.
True. He was just left so exposed, wasn't he? Hard to blame him when the defending in front is, well, lacking.
Exactly. The whole structure just seemed off.
So, wrapping up Udinese, it's a story of defensive mistakes, key individual errors, and a real lack of attacking punch, especially without their main creative force.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. They just couldn't handle Milan.
Okay, so let's flip it. Milan, also set up in a 3-4-3, but wow, what a difference.
Night and day, was it? What made their version work so well?
I think it was partly execution, partly the players they have. The midfielders were disciplined, shielded the back three well, but they're also sharp getting the ball forward. Quick transitions.
And the players they transitioned to, Rafael Leao. Wow.
Just phenomenal. Unplayable at times. That opening goal was pure Leao, wasn't it? Cuts inside, boom, power and precision.
Incredible strike. And then he sets up Reijnders later on, too, involved in breaking the game open.
And a nice little story, him doing it at the stadium where he actually made his Serie A debut. Maybe a bit of extra motivation.
Could be. And that stat about all his goals this season being away from home, that's quite something.
Very unusual.
Yeah.
But effective here, certainly. Tijani Reijnders also stood out, shook off that early miss.
Showed good character there.
Yeah, exactly. Put it behind him, grew into the game, and capped it off with a really well-taken 4th goal.
And hitting 10 Serie A goals for a midfielder, that's impressive stuff. Joining Marco van Basten as the last Milan Dutchman to do that, not bad company.
Not bad at all. The formation also seemed to really suit Theo Hernandez, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. He looked unleashed on that left side, just bombing forward.
That's the Theo everyone wants to see. That run for the 3rd goal, powerful, driving, and then a calm finish. That's him at his best. constant menace.
Total freedom. And at the back, Strahinja Pavlovic deserves a mention too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Solid defensively, handled what little Udinese offered, but that header.
Yeah, the second goal from the corner, massive moment.
Absolutely huge. Towering header, double the lead, really killed off any Udinese hope at that point. Real captain's contribution, even if he's not wearing the armband.
For sure. Scoring from set pieces adds another dimension.
And Yusuf Fofana in midfield, he was key for that first goal too.
Right. Winning the ball back, high up the pitch.
Yeah, nicked it back, then played that smart pass into Leao. That's exactly the kind of midfield play that turns defense into attack so quickly.
Seems like he's really finding his feet under Conchicao. And even the goalkeeping situation turned out okay for Milan in the end.
Yeah, Mignon going off injured wasn't ideal, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing the crowd's reaction change from hostility to applause. Bit of respect there.
Shows class from the fans.
It does. And importantly, Sportiello came on, did his job, and Milan got their first clean sheet in, what, 9 games?
9 matches, yeah. That'll be a big relief for them defensively.
Huge boost. We should also quickly mention Pulisic winning the corner for the second.
Good work rate from him.
And Tammy Abraham coming on to assist Theo's goal. Real impact off the bench.
It really felt like everyone played their part for Milan, didn't it? A complete performance.
Totally. They looked so compact, organized, and absolutely lethal when they went forward. Conticao's switch to the 3-4-3, for this game at least, looked like a really smart move. Addressed defensive frailties, unleashed attackers.
So key takeaways then. Leao and Reijnders, obviously massive contributions. Their quality shone through.
No doubt about it. Game-changing moments from both.
And tactically, that 3-4-3 shift really seemed to pay dividends for Milan defensive solidity, attacking threat.
Yeah, and it really contrasted with how Udinese struggled to make the same system work. For Udinese, Tavin's absence is just huge, and those individual errors were so costly.
Definitely. And interestingly, despite the big win, Milan pick up the 3 points, get to 5th one, but they actually stay in 9th place.
This shows how tight Serie A is this year. Crazy.
So the final thought then. Does this dominant Milan win, this tactical change, signal something more sustained? Are they turning a corner?
Or was this more about Udinese's struggles on the day, their own issues being exposed? It's definitely one to watch moving forward for both teams.
Indeed. Lots to think about there. Thanks for diving deep with us today.